Welcome back. Just in case you're joining us right now, this is what we were talking about before the break.
Blood cancer, brain cancer,
breast cancer, prostate cancer, skin cancer.
Breast cancer, brain cancer.
Cancer is common. The good news is when it's detected early, it's actually treatable. Many cancers are actually easy to treat when they are detected early.
Normally, when you're growing, your cells continues to grow because like your DNA is making copies of new cells, copies and copies and copies. So what happens is that blueprint that keeps making copies get what we call a mutation, a change.
Now, every cancer has a day or month that it is celebrated on. Let's take a look at the cancer calendar of 2017. Confirming from my tablet here, we start with, in January, we had the National Cervical Health Awareness Month. Then in February 2017, we had National Cancer Prevention Month. We also had the World Cancer Day celebrated on February 4th. Apart from that, on March 2017, we had National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. And on April 2017, we had National Cancer Control Month. Also to note, the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Then we cannot forget National Prostate Health Month and World Lymphoma Awareness Day, amongst many more. These days are meant to bring awareness to the types of cancer. But the question is, what causes this type of cancers? Well, let's get an insight from Daktari.
When we talk about the cancers that as we deal with mostly, which is the RH cancers, the breast and the cervical. When you
RH meaning?
Reproductive health cancers. So those ones you can say probably you can gamble with the causes, but these others, let us not
speculate.
Speak a lot about them, but we know that as people out there keep saying, and this is information probably that has been researched, is you find the people who are, some people are more genetically predisposed, like if your mother had cancer of the breast, you are more likely to get the same, or if you had a closer auntie who had cancer, then you are more likely to get cancer. So we talk about genetics. Then we talk about environmental issues, probably where you work.
Pollution?
Not really pollution, but we say some factors in the environment, like pollution, lifestyle issues like smoking, cigarette. We know smoking is associated with lung cancer.
Of the lung.
Yeah.
Yes.
We know cancer of the stomach has a lot of association with alcohol. Yeah. So those others, I would limit them towards those issues that are normally discussed out there. But when you talk about reproductive health cancers like the breast cancer and the cervical cancer, which they're the ones that we normally deal with, breast cancer, we talk about what we can say about cancer basically is that majority of the causes of cancer is unknown. Those factors, we just talk about them out there, or the cause for that mutation, majority of the time is unknown. So we say unknown is the cause number one. But when now we come to issues like cervical cancer and the breast, which is what we normally deal with. About breast cancer, as I've indicated earlier, genetics play a major role. But other lifestyle issues, like as people talk about diet, let me not talk so much about the breast. The breast with genetics, the cause number one being unknown, number two, genetics, they play a big role in breast cancer. But when we come to cervical cancer, the causative agent for cervical cancer is known. Not like in other cancers where we say the cause is unknown. Majority of the people who have, that is what research has shown, that the causative agent for cervical cancer is a human papilloma virus, HPV. Specifically, they talk of about two types, type 16 and 18. There are so many subtypes, but majority of the people suffering from cervical cancer, the cause is human papilloma virus, type 16 and 18. That's why we are saying cervical is unique in its own way because the cause is known.
It's known.
Yes, majority of the research that has indicated that the causative agent for cervical cancer is the human papilloma virus.
And where do people get this human?
The human papilloma virus is just like any other virus in any other environments that we live in. But normally they say men are carriers of the human papilloma virus. So them, they carry the virus and they don't exhibit any symptoms. So they transmit the virus from one woman to the other.
Oh my God.
Yes. So majority of the women who get human papilloma virus, we say it is sexually transmitted.
Well, so this man who is a carrier can transmit to up to the number of women he has been with?
Yes, he can transmit, but what we normally say, once you get like now, in a population even where we are seated here, if I have a cold, I have a chance of transmitting the cold to you, isn't it? But there is a way your body will take care of the cold and eliminate it, meaning you will not get the cold basically because I have the cold.
True.
Same case with cervical cancer. Even if this man goes spreading this cancer from one woman to the other, the body, depending on the level of immunity of an individual, is able to eliminate the virus from the body, just like the way you are also able to eliminate other viruses in the body by your own body mechanism. Wow. You understand?
That's
so we can say out of a population probably of 100 women exposed to the human papilloma virus, maybe it's only 45% who will get the cervical cancer. The rest, they will be able, through their body's immunity, they will be able to convert these cells into normal cells. Actually, they say sometimes up to 70% will get back. We'll be able to, their cells will be able to go back to normal cells even after being affected by the human papilloma virus because of their ability to fight the virus.
Other insights from Dr. Theo on the same?
The single most important way of preventing cancer is to stop smoking. For those people who are smokers.
Hey, quit it! I don't want to have to breathe in your filthy smoke.
And for those people who have unhealthy lifestyles, they need to go back to healthy lifestyles. And unhealthy lifestyles range from not eating well, eating a lot of red meat, drinking a lot of beer and alcohol in general.
Why the inclusion?
And eating a lot of junk food, which has what we call saturated fat, or what we would call unnecessary sugars that the body doesn't need. All that contributes to having cancer. We also have other categories of cancers that are acquired through other lifestyle problems, like cervical cancer is one of the cancers that is related to sexual promiscuity or having many sexual partners because it's linked with a virus that is spread sexually.
The human papilloma virus.
So we have cancers that can be spread through improper sexual behavior, like cervical cancer. We also have cancers that are spread because of lack of proper eating habits and lack of a good lifestyle. But I also want to note and to let people know that cancers do not just pass on from one person to another. They are not communicable. Most cancers do not just pass on from one person to another. The other important reason why people might get cancer is if they had a relative who had cancer. So if you had a relative who had, especially for breast cancer and ovarian cancer, it's possible that you are at risk. So you need to go for screening earlier. The symptoms can either be local at the place where the cancer has started, or the symptoms can even go to another part of the body, depending on what the cancer has done to the other part of the body. And for your information, cancer has ability to move from one part of the body to the other part. If it is just affecting the part that is here, it will keep growing, and we have many cells that are funny looking, and so many other cells that are funny looking, and they have ability to outnumber this one. the normal one. When they outnumber the normal one gets squashed out, and the abnormal one is the one that remains. The trouble with having the abnormal one is the abnormal one eventually makes the body not function the way it's supposed to function. And the other problem is, if the cancer has started from a certain part of the body, let's say it has started from the neck, right there, or the throat, which is part of the neck. It can move and go to the chest. And we all know the chest is helpful for breathing, so you would start having problems breathing if the cancer goes to the chest. If you had cancer in your breast and it moves to the liver, which is down here, you might eventually start having problems with the liver and start having yellow eyes. So the symptoms that you will manifest with will depend on whether the cancer is remaining at the place where it started or it has spread to another part of the body. And the key point here is cancer has ability to spread from one part of the body to another part of the body.
Now, going back to you, Daktari, make us understand, how does cancerous cell transfer and multiply that lead to a demise of a person?
You start with normal cells, then one cell becomes cancerous, and it continues becoming more cancerous cells because it continues multiplying rapidly. It destroys all the normal cells, so you start having failure of normal working organs. The place where the cancer has gone starts failing. Like if it has gone to the liver starts failing. If it has gone to the brain, for instance, the brain starts shutting down. If it has gone to the kidneys start failing. So you start ending up with multi-organ failure. And one of the most important failures is the blood. As a result of the cancer, the blood level starts going down. And as the blood level goes down, eventually you need blood transfusions, and you cannot live without enough blood, so you end up dying. The good news is that if this is detected early, it can be surgically removed and sorted, or it can be treated using methods like special x-rays called radiotherapy, or using some special medicines for swallowing or for injections. So the good news is that when cancer is detected early, by the time it's detected, it will not have destroyed different parts of the body. And so it's easy to sort it out at the level where it has started. Like for instance, if you have a skin cancer on one part of your face and it's just a small dot that is starting, the surgeon can go and remove that part and you're cured 100%. But if you wait until this skin cancer spreads to the neck and to the chest and the stomach, the surgeon cannot remove your stomach. Neither can he remove your brain. So it becomes lethal in that context. And that's a take-home message. The cancer is treatable, but it needs to be detected early. And that's why you need to go for cancer screening.